Today is a new day, oh, and I'm thankful. No time for regrets, no, no, but I'm hopeful. So many didn't get a chance, nah, nah. So be grateful. Hey, things might not go my way, but me not complain. Life is a blessing, me I stay thankful.
Hey, listen up. This is Jerry Harris, SPRB Radio Podcast Show. Check it out with 10-star General and Sharon Mango. The live conversation show. Check it out. Don't left it out. Oh yeah. Hey, SPRB Radio Podcast. SPRB Radio Podcast. With 10-star General and Sharon Mango. Yeah, SPRB Radio Podcast. SPRB Radio Podcast. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Yes. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Now. Yes, SPRB Radio Podcast with 10 stars. Check it out. Sharon Mango. Check it out.
Well, greetings, everyone. I'm 10 Star General, and we are back with our very first show for the year. We had some slight technical problems with Miss Mango. I'm hoping she's got herself situated. I'm going to add her in a few minutes. However, it brings me great joy specifically because for the past 10 years, I have been on a hunt and seek mission for my artist who I've got on my screen right now. She goes by the name Dezarie. I know her as Desiree, but I see her here as Desiree Phoenix. And I call her the St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands Roots Queen. There's something about this lady that just sends me to another stratosphere. Her voice is melodic. She is something else. I'm very happy that she's my first guest of the year. Trust me, not even the gremlins could stop this one. Desiree, God bless you, my sister.
Thank you so much for a wonderful intro. I truly appreciate it.
Can you believe it's 10 years I've been looking for you?
I had no idea. I had no idea.
And let me say this. There's a lady, I was thinking long and hard about it because there was a lady whom we both uh, took joy in listening to your voice. And her name is Sister D.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, she passed away from cancer,
Wow.
but she was a lady that admired your voice also.
Wow.
And man, I wish she was alive today to see this show. Yeah. So,
Wow.
Sister D, we made it happen. I
Yes.
have to, because I'm hoping my co host has got herself ready. I don't want to start this conversation without her. So, I'm going to bring her in right now.
Okay.
Sharon Mango has been having some issues, uh, but I hope you're okay now, Sharon.
Well,
Blessed.
first of all,
Blessed.
listen, sister. Let me say this before anything. Blessed morning. It's an honor. Thank you so much. We had a lot of technical difficulties coming on here, and can you hear me good? Can you hear me well? You can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. There isn't too much that I can say with the introduction that 10 Star gave you because usually that would be me, but he did very well in the
Yes.
presentation. Usually it's me because I still can't believe we have you here. It is an it's there are no words. He broke it down to the best of his ability. You are Saint Croix, roots queen, royalty,
Give much thanks for
right
that.
where I live here in New Jersey. I'm surrounded with a lot of Crucians
Oh,
and
yes.
a lot of, yeah, a lot, like very close, a lot. We were in
Mhm.
music. We were involved in music together and everything. And your name
Okay.
always came on. So they
Yes.
know, Desiree, I knew from you from way back. So I can't wait to share the news. Like, guess who I talked to today? Your queen.
Yes.
But thank you so much for coming on.
I thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And I'm glad to hear that there are people in New Jersey that still remembers me.
Oh Lord, it's a lot. We have a lot.
Yeah.
Right
Hmm.
down, literally, there's a lot of fusions. And you
Wow.
know, the years I've been here in America, those are mostly my friends, the Crucians. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot. So
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing. You never know, girl, you never know. You just need to come to New Jersey. You never
Yeah.
know. Time to come and do a show or two, right?
Yeah. I haven't been up that way in a long time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yes.
anything is possible, and hopefully I can go up there to spread some of the message.
Oh, without question. They're going to come out in droves. Oh, without question. But you know what? This is 2024. We're speaking this into existence. This is going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Yes, because we can.
We can. Yes, we can.
Because we can. We can
Yes, we
create.
can.
That's what we
Yes.
are. Truly, we are creators, and it's been a fight and a bunch of brainwashing to stop us from finding out this one thing. We are creators. We can
Mhm.
create. We can create.
Mm.
We are. Yes, we are. 10 star.
Right.
Honors, honors, honors.
First and foremost, let's big up two people. One was Michelle Arthurton in New York, and the person that liaised with you to make this show happen,
Yes.
Leslie Ann. We got to
Yes.
big her up because she really was a soldier in making this thing happen. You know,
Yes. She was.
and she is also the wife and manager to Warrior King. So we
That's right.
thank her greatly.
Yes.
Leslie Ann, God bless you, my sister.
That's thanks and blessings.
Yeah. All
Mhm.
right. So let's begin. Um, Go ahead, Sharon. You start. You start and just do your thing. I am gonna jump in if and when, because my head is.
Oh,
I've been sick since the last couple of days, but I didn't want this show to stop, so that's why I'm here. So
Okay.
go ahead.
so usually my nice background would pop up, but it's okay. Miss Desiree, first and foremost, let us ask you for the people who don't know who you are. We want to go into your background a little bit. Tell us where you were born, mom and
Yes.
dad, brothers and sisters, and basically your who is Desiree? What becomes Desiree? What makes Desiree Desiree? So that's starting from the very beginning. So go ahead.
I was born in St. Croix, Virgin Islands. My mother and father have seven siblings. My
Okay.
mother was a herbalist. She knew every bush for any kind of sickness you could think of.
Ah.
My
Mm-hmm.
dad, I raised up seeing him healing bones with his hands and muscle strains and stuff like that. If you didn't want to
Wow.
go to the doctor, you could come to him, and he was known for doing this.
Oh
And
wow.
that's the kind of upbringing, some of it. Desiree,
Wow.
I'm a defender. I do not like to see anybody being taken advantage of. As a
Mm-hmm.
child, I like to stay up late and watch movies, and I happened to see Roots among with other
Oh Lord,
action
yes,
movies.
yeah.
And this was in elementary
Oh,
school. And believe me, I remembered all this stuff. And as a
mhm.
child, I was like, how unfair! This is so unfair, you know. And I would never allow this, as a little child. And I remembered, and uh, I started singing in school, in elementary,
Mm.
and also in church later on.
I was
And
going to bring that up. Tell me
that was
about
my
church. Tell me, yes, church.
well, I was sure when you can sing, you're chosen to do every show. So I did a lot of singing in church. When I got to seventh grade, I realized a lot of things was not sounding correct. The way it was taught as a child, I believe, I don't know if it's the pastor or his misunderstanding of the word, but I believe
Mm.
we would all turn white and go to heaven. When I
I'm
got to
sorry,
the
what?
seventh,
What? Are
I
you
thought we
serious?
would all, yeah, the way we were taught and seeing all these European images in church. That's what happened. Um, I realized there was a hatred for women at a young age, and then I thought that we would, according to how we were taught, I thought we would become these white spirits and go to heaven. And when I got to the seventh grade, I realized something ain't right, and so I asked my
Wow.
parents, I'm not gonna go to church anymore. She
Mm.
didn't force me to, which my mother was a churchgoer, and that was it. I was a little rebel when I was young. Got into several fights in school and stuff like that, which I feel is necessary. Even when you're singing conscious music, you have to be able to defend yourself, know when and
You
how.
have to. You have to. I love what you just now said because I always thought of myself as a defender. A 10
Yeah,
star will tell you that's always been me. If something doesn't look right, I'm
yeah,
coming. I'm gonna come for you. But I think the most beautiful thing and poignant thing that you said was even in church. Simply
yes,
like if you will not put it this way. You have to look at it like this. You will not easily brainwash. You
yes,
listen to this individual and you said about the individual, yeah, that doesn't sound right.
yeah,
You understand? You
yeah.
already was not having it. Mentally and spiritually, it was not digesting correctly with you.
No, no, it wasn't. And I'm a student. I'm the type of student, like with mathematics, they
Mm-hmm.
taught us one way of how to solve math problems, and
Mm-hmm.
I had my own thing. It was a longer process, but I got it right. So I know how to think for myself from a young age.
Mm-hmm.
Some things just was not, with everything, with even history, something just was not correct and didn't right. According to how I was calculating it, a lot of things were not properly taught.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, a lot of people say that problem children. I became a problem child. I became a problem child. I rebelled. That same seventh grade, I started to rebel, and I wanted to be a gangster.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. I was singing already in high school, doing little shows. And then at a point, I thought, I didn't want to do that anymore. In forward to 11th grade, I started to get into so much trouble that my parents sent me away to Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And I got into more trouble there. So, because there's more trouble to get into. It's a bigger place, so many different types of people, so many different crimes you can get into.
Mm,
But which
Yes.
which basically I just love the marijuana scene
mm,
person, and that marijuana,
Mm,
it makes you think, you know. So then I started to
Yeah.
even calculate more, and I started to see a lot of injustice in America. I saw a lot of racism. There were blatant signs in specific towns in Atlanta that says, "We don't want no niggas here. No, if you're a nigga, don't enter." Stuff like
mm,
that. There's a lot of racism in the South. A lot of it is blatant. I've been followed around stores. I've experienced that stuff. I've seen a lot of my brethren from St. Croix just because of their skin and maybe the locks and the hair. They were
Yeah.
just an easy
They were
target
targeted. Yeah,
for
easy
nothing.
targets.
They were doing nothing wrong, and they ended up in jail.
Yes.
So a lot of these things led to opening my mind. I learned to pray at a young age. My mother, she before we could speak, she would teach us little prayers to say, and that is what carried me through life. It wasn't church, it was not the Bible, it was prayer. Um,
mm,
Yes.
Realizing that something was wrong with church and how we're being taught, I started to look for God.
Hmm.
mm,
Um, my first the first encounter I had was with Indian religion. So I have studied so many different various
mm,
varieties of Indian religion because there are lots of them. Um,
Yes. Many. There are many.
yeah,
There
so
are
I was
many.
doing meditations from a young age before I properly knew how to spell meditation. And those things, when it increases your spirituality,
Yes, it
and
does.
started to see so much more injustice, the brainwashing, the depth of brainwashing. And I started to tell people and talk to my friends and certain family members, and they just was like, I'm overreacting. And I would even tell coworkers, and my most memorable thing is telling a coworker about racism, and her response was like, why don't we stop and just get over this stuff? There's no more. And remember, I told you I've been followed around the stores.
Hmm.
Certain places, they look at you before you even enter, and they treat you as if you're a criminal. And me, as a woman, they did this to me also, and I've seen them do it to other men of color. um, just
100%.
being around all of this, being around the marijuana scene, observing all this stuff, all the injustices, I wanted to do something. And I already knew how to sing. I was already doing dub plates for different DJs in Atlanta.
Hmm.
So I started to write. Um,
Hmm.
I have always been a writer. I've always been writing, but I wanted to write about these specific things. I was already on my verge of trying to become an artist. I was singing a lot of R. I did a couple of R&B tunes, and but mostly I started out doing dance hall songs because I was doing all these dub plates, so it was already in the air with me, the dance hall. So I did that, and eventually, um, through the marijuana and observing the Bible and observing the different things, I decided that Rastafari was the closest thing to the truth for me. Out of everything that I have observed, I went to church. I've still been invited to different churches, and some churches I realized they despiritualize you. They
mm.
spiritualize
That's
you.
deep right there. You see what she just said, 10 star? That's real deep. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my antennas is open wide.
Me too.
There's a lot
Yes.
of brainwashing that goes on in the church. Listen, religion has always been used as a weapon to control the masses. It has, look, all throughout history. They're calling them holy wars and 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 stuff like that, but it was really just about controlling the people through religion.
Mm,
one month you would hear a set of Christians say, "Oh, we found the shroud of Christ," and
Christ.
then they would be in competition with another place who said they found, well, I found his clothing, and then another one
Yes.
would be like, I found
Yes.
the thorns that were on his
Yes.
head, but it was a
mm,
competition because listen, religion is still controlling people's minds and how they think. Because
Mm-hmm.
you're afraid to disrespect whatever God they're portraying to you that you should not um, violate any of the laws that He set forth for us. So
mhm, mhm.
we look
Woo!
throughout all of history.
Listen. I'm learning a lot from what you're saying to me, because what you're saying to me is what I've been meditating on for a very long time. But
Yes.
I've not said anything,
Yes.
not because of fear of anything, but just to make sure that what I'm picking up is what I'm picking up.
Yeah.
So, me listening attentively to what you're saying, right, is giving me some answers. So, what I'm going to ask Sharon to do is let's just leave Desiree to continue to speak her truth, right? I'm not going to say a thing right now. Yes, so the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Please, Desiree, listen to me. The line of questioning is not written down anywhere. We're speaking from the heart
Okay.
because you know who you are. I
Yes.
want you to speak your truth. Like you, people are going to understand you even more because the simple fact from a young age, I said to you, from a young age in church, you already knew not
Sorry.
talking the truth. You know how many people have blinders on till this day at a young age? You were already chosen to observe. This is not the truth you talking before you even got the full understanding of your own spirituality. It's deep, but
Yes.
please carry on. Carry
Yeah,
Yes.
on. Saying,
yeah.
yeah.
So remember, the Bible was given to us by our slave masters.
Mm,
That's when we received it. Now, if being that they are our slave masters, they were already killing us and castrating us. Why would they give us a book that would help us?
Hmm.
They were ripping babies out of the wombs of black women that were unborn.
mm,
They were cutting off the genitals of black men. Why would they give us a book that would benefit us? Those same people that were killing us, enslaving us, why would they give us a book that would benefit us?
Right?
Now, book, it has truth in it, but you can't
Mhm.
go in there blindly, and you have to know that some of the things in the Bible are allegorical. Do not
mm,
take them literally. And you have to read carefully because in certain instances, the word was spoken to a specific people.
Mhm.
mm,
It's not
Mhm.
it might not be referring to us now. Some of
yeah,
it is referring to a specific people.
mhm,
Bible, there are certain things that are also prophetic that we are seeing
Mhm.
unravel, like the book of Revelations and some of the
mm,
stuff, the book of Daniel's.
Mhm.
mm,
My favorite purpose of opening the Bible is the prayers. And so I rarely go in there. I read Revelations every now and then to remember and match it up to the things that are happening right now.
mm,
The church is part of the problem. We see what the pastors have been doing and what they have revealed to us that they are, and some people would do anything for power to control over masses,
mm,
money, and maybe for fame.
Yeah.
So I have a song that says, "Woe be unto the pastors that have scattered the sheep of the pastures, and they're changing true law's upright posture. Their invention, it causes a fracture. Their intention, it causes a fracture because they're actually part of the problem." I stay at home. I
Mm,
worship with myself. I
mm,
speak to the God that is within us, myself. And if I feel like opening any book along with the Bible, I do that myself. I do not have to be in a building with people who are judging me. With also also there are also evil spirits in the church. Because
Mm,
if we're not
amen.
what is correct in there, we're gonna attract anything that is negative will attract
Right.
negative spirits.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
And if we're not doing the right things, we are letting these demons into the church also. So don't be surprised when you hear these pastors are molesting these children. This stuff is satanic. It's not. It is satanic because it's done to more than one child, and it's
mm.
something that's done repetitively. It has been done throughout the past.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, if the
Yes.
mother church is the Catholic Church, and they are molesting young boys and girls.
Mm,
Every other church that is under them will be doing it.
yeah.
Saw a clip of the
Wow.
high,
So true.
I don't want to mistake his name, but he's a guru from Tibet. The highest ranking one that's always on everything on TV
I
and
know.
news.
I know who you're talking about because I was a little shocked.
Kissing
Yes.
a child on the lip was
On the
very
lips.
inappropriate. It is not his child, and it
Yes.
is very inappropriate. And we always
I
watch
saw
these
that.
things and we let things slide. We
Did
let
you
things.
hear? Did you hear about that 10 star?
I'm trying to. I've got my brain is ticking. I
Yes,
don't.
it's somebody. The name escapes me, but it's the. Is
Yes,
it?
I don't remember his name quite either,
Was it Dominic?
Just remind me of the scenario.
but he's a Tibetan monk. He's one of the highest.
Oh, I know who.
Dharma?
I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. No, yeah, yeah.
So this stage of
Yes.
in a child
Yeah.
is done inappropriately,
Kissing the
and they
child.
Yes, 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 yes. I do
shun
know.
being married. They shun having sex with a woman in
Hmm.
the church, but it's because that is so unnatural to do that, you're gonna do something that's twisted, you know? So
Hmm.
they're not having sexual relations with women,
Hmm.
but they're damaging boys. They're destroying them as a
Yeah,
matter of fact, because
yeah.
that's their first sexual experience. So they're
And,
destroying them.
and especially in the Catholic Church, we hear so much,
Yes,
goings ons.
yes.
Um, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's spreading out to the other churches. And even as Rastafari, we need to check ourselves. We need to check ourselves
Hmm.
with our
Yes.
behaviors so that we don't become the same very thing that we're shunning.
Hmm. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
mm. Wow.
But it
Real
was
talk.
already written that mankind would not be able to govern itself.
Yeah, that's
So we've already failed before we even begun. You know what I
yes,
mean?
yes. Because
So,
if we can't govern ourselves, then someone has to govern us,
yeah,
and they might not govern us better either. You know, they don't
right.
govern themselves.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so let me ask you a question. Going back to when you were growing up, you were brought up in a church, right?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Was that the biggest part of your issues with the church? Why they labeled you a problem child?
They misunderstood me. I
Were
tried.
you rebelling from that early
I
age?
was rebelling from things that were going on within my family, in my house as a child that I saw.
Right.
I
Okay.
was rebelling. Yes.
Okay. 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 So as you got older, you went through high school. Where did you go through high school? Because I know you came to America at some point.
Yeah, I went to high school in St. Croix up till the 11th grade.
Right.
Was sent to Atlanta
What did
to.
you want to become?
I wanted to become a singer, a teacher, and a model.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to fulfill all of those. I was a teacher of
Three
a
in one, right?
yeah, yeah, and I'm still a teacher. I'm,
Right,
I'm still a role model.
right. There you go. There
Singer.
you go.
So yes, I get to experience all of those. I taught in a school. I got to
Mm,
experience the modeling world, which is very horrible for me. It was a
mm-hmm.
bad experience. And the things that they do to women as a model. So it wasn't for me. I did it for about a year and then I stopped. I was
Share,
always
share as much as you want to about your experiences in the
I
model.
did not like if you were I already have on something that is short and revealing and it was just very uncomfortable for them pull up they would want me to maybe raise my skirt up higher or
Mm,
show a little bit more than I was already showing.
mhm,
And some of these photographers they were perverts to me and that's the vibe I got and that was my intuition and I left. I didn't like how I felt
mm.
while doing that.
Okay.
It was a very uncomfortable. It almost felt like I was being molested without being touched, but
Right.
that's
Mm-hmm.
what it was.
Mm-hmm.
To do that for money for a living is not me.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was music played in your family household?
Yes, my mother had like, about five brothers, and they all played an instrument.
Okay.
My father, he has a brother that was a musician in a band, in a local band here in St. Croix. My father played the guitar and he loved to sing. And
No.
there was always music around.
Right. And what kind of music were they listening to in St. Croix? I'm curious.
In St. Croix, well, my parents, the only reggae they would listen to was Lucky Dube.
Oh.
A lot of the Caribbean parents that are not with this Rasta thing,
Right. Right.
they would listen to some Lucky Dube. That's what they
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Along with whatever the slave master played for them, they like that as well. It was
Right.
country stuff. A lot of Caribbean parents of ours, they love that country western
Mm.
brainwash stuff.
Did, 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 did you always know that music was what you wanted to do?
I was always doing music because I was always singing and I was always around music. So I
Oh,
was always singing. I used to cut class in 11th grade before I got sent away. We would cut class.
right.
One of my friends would be drumming and I would be making up these songs and we've been
Really?
since junior high school. I can some of the artists from here also we talk about that when we were in school and the school monitors would be telling us, stop banging on the walls and get to
Right.
class. We would just be there chanting and
Right.
yeah.
Sharon.
I have a little noisy person in the back. That's why I have my mic on. Bubba's with me, right? So she's in the back. You can see Desiree and you, and she's like, all these questions. So Elliot's trying to take her. Okay, so excuse that. So when you realized when, like after all the revelations and everything, Desiree, when you realized, it seems to me that from that time to then, you kind of knew where you were going.
Hmm.
You were writing music, and but where did you? I say it looks like you knew where you were going or what direction you wanted to go in. Is that true to say to you?
When I saw the response of people when I would do shows and my friends encouraged me and enter these dance hall contests, and which two of them I won, and then I stopped entering. Just people encouraging me, but I wanted to be a singer, and I tried. I didn't know how I was gonna get there, but I knew a lot of the DJs in Atlanta who would put me up on. I opened for people like Tanya Stevens and different like Capleton. So I started doing that, some shows, and I liked it. I liked the feel of it. I was very shy at first, but um, I tried to pursue it. I came to St. Croix to visit, and I heard Midnight Band playing, and I
Midnight.
was
Yes. Midnight.
wow. I was like, wow, they're singing this stuff,
Mm.
singing like this.
Yeah.
I I had so much respect because all these thoughts I had in my head, they were singing it. You know,
Yeah.
they're brave enough to do that in such a time when they had all these other music that was considered, Rasta music, conscious music, and rebellion music. So I really admired that. I brought a CD back with me to Atlanta, and
Mm.
I would listen to it. And every time I play it, people would ask me, who are these guys and where they're from? And um, I just, um, my sister had known a producer, and so she introduced me, and I asked them to do music for me. And it went from there. Yeah.
Mm.
Before I left Atlanta, I won the best female reggae artist. I wasn't even there to get it. I had left. My father got ill,
Right.
and that was my best friend. That was my best
Mm.
friend more so than anyone in the family. And
Mm.
I had to leave everything to come down here to see him.
Right.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I while I was here, I met Midnight Band, and along with a lot of other great musicians and artists.
Mm.
And yeah, that's it from there.
So I have to say then, I have to say, because like I said, where I live, I'm surrounded by a lot of Crucians, and for
Yes.
myself, and this is for many years now, for the past 20 years, and that's how I even knew about Midnight.
Hmm.
And even after meeting my husband is also a musician, like he is such a fan, like you study everything, like what they're saying. And
Yeah.
I even knew, even one of the, matter of fact, one of my friends, one of the Crucians, they're related to one of them in the Midnight. So that's why I knew the full background and stuff.
Okay.
So I have to say to you then, Midnight was very instrumental in your trajectory in moving forward with the style of music, right?
Definitely. Definitely. Well, I was already doing
And
conscious music
ours.
at that time.
Uh,
I was doing conscious music, but I just needed a producer. Um, I had tried with several producers in Atlanta. I didn't really feel the vibe as much. So when I came down here to check my dad, I ran into Ron, and
mm,
this history. Vaughn was my teacher. He would come. We were his disciples. A lot of us at that time,
oh,
we were
yeah.
his disciples. He would give us a lot of information and books, and he would come back around and question you. So you gotta know. He would
Yes.
come back around and question you.
Hmm.
Um, he was just a guy that loved wisdom, so he tried to instill that to us and showing us a lot of other truths that we didn't know of. And I love wisdom myself, and I'm always studying something. And I really embrace that. He also taught us how to look at words and show
Mm.
the English language is a curse. You can curse yourself every day, and we have
Thank
been
you.
doing it. We have been doing
Yes. Yes.
my worst word that I hate to say because I had a cold, a bit of a cold last week. And
Mm.
to be able to say I'm coughing. I hate that coughing. You know, I'm not
Right.
coughing, not in a coffin. I have a cough.
Right. I hear what you're saying now. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
really don't use that word. Even just that's why we say blessed rise, because good morning, morning is not good. Morning is not good. And to say that every day, good morning, good morning,
Right.
whether you know what it is or not, you know, it has a set an effect on your psyche. So
Mm.
yeah, the English language is a curse, and so we play with it. When we're singing, we play with it, and you can make
Right.
them without them even knowing, and you know you can say different things and
Right.
so different perspectives. So you can use one word that has different meanings, you know, and different things, strategies we learn, the heights of the frequency of roots music itself, because roots music tends to have a higher frequency than most music, and that's why I feel it was most suitable to do my put my message on to roots music, right, rather than anything else, because
Right.
the frequency and what you can do with it as a skilled musician um, is difficult to get that in any kind of other genre of music.
Mm.
Yes.
But one thing about your music and you know the roots music coming from Vaughan Benjamin, um, and your music together was a different kind of roots vibration I was listening to every wailing sound I heard. There was significance to it. It's almost like your voice was an added instrument, right?
Yeah.
So I put together something. Well, it's a little clip, and when I listen to it, it speaks to me. So I want to play this,
Okay.
and it's a performance. You can tell me where this was.
Love, oh yeah, it's okay to give your last dollar to someone in need, in need. And it's okay to give a plate of food to someone hungry, hungry. All is vanity, and that's what it be. What it be. And accustom your hands from holding on to material things for your own self. We must give real love. Oh yeah, real love. Oh yeah, real.
I realized that the wailing sound that you have, not just yourself, but Vaughan Benjamin and people from the Virgin Islands, it's significant to that island alone. What is the significance? Talk to me about that. The significance of that.
Um, the area that we are in is a very powerful part of aligning with the astral here. We have a super what do you call it? It's like a super telescope here. It's huge. It's
Yeah.
bigger than me and you that they set up and do the stars here. We have a lot of sightings here in St. Croix.
Mm.
Sightings of many strange things. The Jack Cousteau came here. If you know the great
I
sea
do.
voyager that
Yeah.
came here and he never touched the bottom. He
Mm,
everywhere, that's his goal. Everywhere he goes, he dives and try to touch the bottom. He never found the bottom.
mm,
This is a place where I had a sister. She came here from the U.S. She lives in Atlanta, and she visited here. This was about maybe 5 years ago.
mm,
Came here. She went to the beach with my mother, and while they were on the beach, they looked to a distance and
mm,
saw a mermaid. You know, and it was her. There was another lady there that they didn't know. Um, there's some very strange things that happen here as far as the water, and a lot of
mm,
people that have made some strange claims about this place. A lot of things that happened here pertaining to slavery that has left an effect, another kind of effect on the place.
mm,
There have been many rebellions here, and that energy is here more so than any of the islands in the Virgin Islands.
mm.
Yes, everywhere else, the other two islands are a little more commercial than St. Croix. We're so unruly here. We're very unruly here. They had stopped tourists and certain airlines from coming.
Mm,
Um, the things the other islands tolerate, we don't tolerate that here on St. Croix.
right,
Um, the energy of the place, it is a good place. The ley lines that are here is very powerful to um, write and
mm,
hear music, tune into music from other frequencies.
yeah,
Yeah, this is just a very mystical place. You won't see it just on the surface. On the surface, you will not see it. You have to stay here for a while and get in tune with the energy here, and then you'll see something.
right,
Yes.
right. Because it's definitely a deep vibration I pick up from it. So
Yeah.
deep that I can tell you that I bought every album of Vaughan Benjamin, Midnight to Akai Baka, and they're so numerous. And your music also,
We
Yes,
and
it
your
have.
music also, yeah. Go ahead, Sharon.
No, I was saying that yes, we too have. I think we have all the albums as well. But I
is.
want to get back to something that you said. Ten Star had said is this, about the music. It's a
Mm,
style of music that's very significant, and
Yes.
it's like it would appear to be. I wouldn't say sad music. It's like it's Ron Benjamin had a way of expressing himself in the music that you would almost always be in a trance, right?
Yes.
It transcends you to something else if you sit and listen to one. There, I have one or two favorites, but
that is the word.
it is. It's a transcendence, and you
Mm,
Yes. Yes.
there's it's the pace of the music as well. It's not rushed.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So it's what he was doing was deliberate.
Yes,
Mm,
it was.
What
Yes,
he
it
was
was.
doing was very deliberate. So
mm,
it was the flow of music. It was just a little
Born,
straight.
a lot of he loved the Ethiopian chant,
yeah.
the Ethiopian chant, and when I met Midnight, I was already doing the Indian chant because in Atlanta I didn't listen. I mostly listened to foreign like African and Indian music. If it wasn't reggae,
Mm,
it would be African or Indian. As far as my singing influences, uh,
mm,
yeah, India, Mali, Senegal, I really, really, really treasure and is close to my heart.
yeah.
Yes, like being responsible for my singing.
And that is also what I hear in your music also.
True.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
It's almost like she's been able to embody all those frequencies of different cultures together. And isn't it amazing how they kind of similarly um, it brings about a similarity. Like
Yes,
when you mention the Indians to the
yes,
Ethiopians and the Indians have that similar vibration.
yes, they
Yes.
Yeah.
do. And by listening to music from Mali and Senegal, the more people
Yes,
I got, it sounded Indian and Ethiopian.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
more older the music got, it sounded Indian and Ethiopian. And
Yeah.
I listen to the traditional. I don't listen.
Yeah.
I don't really like Afrobeats that much, but I listen to
Right.
traditional African music, and
Yes.
Right.
I can hear the chanting and the wailing, and it feels familiar to my soul. So that's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah. So that, for me, that's, I think, when I first knew about you, you were almost to me like the female born Benjamin. You were.
Yes, I've
It
been
was
taught that.
just, and if people are not telling you that, they need to, because you just have that way. I understand now how the different music that you have been listening to, and when you are, before the beat even drops, you go into a wailing, right?
Hmm.
Right? It's she goes into a wailing to
Hmm.
touch your soul, and then
Yeah.
when that beat drops, it's over. You're absorbed. You know what I mean? You're absorbed. That's what I get from
That's what
you.
you're trying to say. She's trying to suck you in.
She sucks you in. She pulls you in, literally, with her wailing, because it
Yes,
is a wailing. It's a calling. It's almost. I swear to you, it's almost a calling of the ancestors when she starts.
it is. It is. I have a song called "Sing Out." It's sing out for my people that were slaves. Their blood runs through my vein. I feel their pain. So it's the same. It's the same thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, we have the we have the ancestors of these people that were on the slave ship. There's a set of people in America that they don't want anything to do with Africa, so they try to go around and say talk about the Indians that were there before Columbus came. Yes, there were blacks there before Columbus came, but it's still the same African DNA.
Hmm.
Why are they trying to deny who they are as if they're better than the slaves? No, we came from the same royal bloodlines. And at some point, there's some mixtures that were done intentionally. There's some mixing that has been done to the human DNA
Hmm.
intentionally to change who we are, or just there are these Nephilims, these reptilians that has breeded beings with humans,
Hmm.
and among other things. So we're now mixed with all kinds of DNA. And
So
so
have you tried to incorporate? Yeah, I know you incorporate it into the music that you make, right?
mhm,
Now the thing is, as far as you're concerned, right? Are
mhm.
people really taking in the message?
According to what I see, yes, I've been told that they've been healed by it. Yes,
Hmm.
a lot of
So,
people they
so,
speak truth.
so when you go to your concerts, right? I would imagine it would be mainly white people at your concerts.
No, it depends on where I go. Depends
Like
on,
if you go to Europe, for instance.
yeah, yeah, yes. And when I go to Brazil, there are there are different types of crowds depending on what city you go to, because there
Right.
are more African cities than um, cities with Portuguese,
Hmm.
Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it
Okay.
depends on where you go.
Right. So is it? Would you say your music is catching on?
Yes, it's been catching on. It's been catching on.
Right.
Yes.
When last did you come to the UK?
Wow. I haven't been. Haven't been. I've been as far as France, Amsterdam, and Sweden.
Right.
That's the furthest I've been.
You
Wow.
know, you got to come to the UK, right?
But are they
Yeah.
ready for her though? Are they ready for her?
I
You see
think
what I'm
they are
saying?
ready. I believe they are ready for
Mm.
people are thirsty for good music, lyrical content, you know, that mesmerizing beat, you know. They've been ready for you since 10 years ago when we were looking for you.
Listen, set it
Yeah.
up, 10 star, make it happen. Just like I gotta make it happen up here in New
We have
Jersey.
had a couple offers over the years, but
Hmm?
nothing solid. We had a
Okay.
couple offers, but nothing solid yet.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we're waiting for that one solid offer, and then I'll be
Right.
I'll be there.
Yeah, definitely. We have to see if we can make it happen. And I know some people, so I'm going to be putting that to them. They're definitely ready. Pauline Catlin, our legend here in the UK, global legend, she says,
Be
we're
ready.
ready. From Pauline Catlin says, we're ready, we're ready. Yeah,
That's good to know.
yes,
Good to know. I'm ready to give. I'm ready to give that message. This is a time of information and an awakening. This is the time of the great awakening. Through this internet, we so much more information is available to us than ever.
mm,
And if you open your eyes, and your intuition's eyes, you can find out
yeah,
some things about this earth. They have been hiding so much from us in
yeah,
order to keep us subdued like this and
mm,
fighting against each other. They have
mm,
done so much to make sure that we fail and that we don't prosper, that we never live in abundant,
mm,
happy life.
yeah,
So they have instilled things to make sure of this. So we can fight back and not give them their desires.
yes.
Yes.
I truly believe so. And what I find, remarkable is that you've kept the music, the message in the music. You know what I mean? Where it's so easy to lose the content of what people are looking for in the music, right?
Yeah.
So for instance, I would say, with so much distractions going on, right? And bombarding of our music with rubbish, it's so easy to lose the message in the music. It
Yeah.
is refreshing to have like a Desiree or a Vaughan Benjamin or Akai Bakar or whatever, that is keeping that solid content. And there are many artists out there who are keeping to that regime with the message in the music. But there's so much more that there is to come from yourself. Like,
Yes.
I'm wondering if people are ready for the real truth.
Hmm.
You see where I'm coming from? Because there's
Yeah.
so much more that you could implement into your music, but I'm
Yeah.
wondering if that will be sabotaged.
Some things I don't implement because I can see that people are not ready. Music is not worth doing it without a message. I would have quit a long time ago if I did not have a message in it because it things that you experience. Be aware that I have my spiritual battles that I face because of this music that I do, and be aware of the other fights that I have endured because I'm doing this music. So if it doesn't have a message, for me, it is not worth it. I am not looking for fame or anything like that. I am doing what I'm told to do by my inner self and the Most
Mm.
High. I'm doing it for the people. Yeah.
Are you limited to what kind of messages you can put in your music, or do you listen to that vibration to tell you when to release that particular message that you're talking about?
I'm gonna be told when, and sometimes I speak it at some of my shows. One of those things that I'm telling you that people are not ready to hear is about witch pertaining to witchcraft. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of it in the Caribbean and worldwide, and a lot of good people got caught up in this thing with these spirits that embody this witchcraft thing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's painful to see because they think that they're doing the right thing. A lot of the murders that happen here and abroad is due to this witchcraft spirits that require sacrifices and a lot of the other things like the sodomy and stuff. All of it is
Yeah.
witchcraft related, and they are demonic spirits that when you do these things, they come, they're attracted to your life and cause a
Mm-hmm.
lot of destruction that you don't know. Those that are doing it don't know that they are
Mm-hmm.
even responsible for.
That's right.
So you don't understand what you're doing when you go and say you're doing witchcraft, and I think you should stay away because you don't understand what you're doing and what you're conjuring up when you're talking about spells. It is not just a
Mm-hmm.
spell. There are spirits involved with these things that can cause damage that
Yeah.
even who's doing it don't know about.
Right.
You know?
I would imagine some are deliberately doing it, but trying to keep that particular what you just said away from people's imagination. So,
Right.
for instance, keeping away from the fact that they are committing witchcraft, maybe even in the church.
Oh yeah, especially in the church.
And I'm trying to be careful with what I'm
And
saying also.
this is what I'm telling you about the church. They let the devil in. They let the devil in. It's never gonna be the same. There's a big, huge clean out that needs to be done in the churches. I am not excusing any more of these pastors, nor their empathizers. I'm not excused. They are just as I am required to do my best because I'm a leader of the people and people listen to the music and are influenced by it. I I am responsible for everything I say on
Mm.
those so they're responsible for what they say and the things that they're doing and all these children that they're damaging and all the spirits that they have brought into the church that are causing all these things to take place.
And also to add upon that is the lack of remorse.
Yes. The
It's
lack of remorse is amazing. The lack of remorse is amazing, you know.
Sharon.
These are our leaders.
Yeah, well, I think about that all the time. I think that I personally feel myself to be a very spiritual person. Yeah, I was brought up in the church in England and then eventually coming here, but I can honestly say entering the churches here,
Yeah.
it was for me it has to be a feeling if I walk in. I don't want to it's it's money here.
Yeah. As
Church
is
has
in
money
America.
here. That's not the same message. If you don't go in and you can't, you should be freely give if that's
I-
what that's.
I'm I'm not even bashing every church, but what I'm saying, even when they can do better, there are things that they can teach us in the church that they're not teaching us, maybe because they don't know, but there's a way that we can use our mind that we are the masters of our brain, that we can use our mind to do things for
Mm.
us. The self knowledge that we can learn in church and in school, they're not teaching us these things. So there's still a lack of information and a brainwashing that they have us fearing things that we're not supposed to be afraid of and afraid to do things that is okay to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could talk about this all day actually.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
we really really could because it is deep like that. Ten Star and I have had many conversations about that, the demonic behaviors. It's so much. So we want to get back to Desiree though, because Desiree, you're so deep It's so easy. Go there. We'll be here for hours. I think that that being said, all of these things is making you who you are, knowing what
Mm.
your job is,
Yeah.
your journey, what
Yes,
you're supposed to be doing to deliver the correct message,
Mm.
right? For
yes,
people who there is so much confusion out there. The
Mm.
confusion is deep
yes,
and real.
yes,
They cannot decipher reality from fiction anymore because a lot of these churches is spewing fiction, right?
yes,
Their interpretation, because they still not understanding their interpretation supposedly of the word, and then divulging it is corrupting people. It's doing the wrong things. It's not
Yeah.
delivering the
yes. And
message.
they they want to Jesusify us, but none of them are trying to be like him. What is the message of Christ? What is the message of this Christ? Now, I'm not talking about this white Jesus image they're showing to us.
Mm.
We have a higher self. We all can become Christ like. That's the message of Christ.
Mm.
What's the message of Haile Selassie Rastafari? A higher way of living, a higher way of thinking and speaking. So we all have that inner Christ that we can aspire to be like, or at least attempt, because we're higher beings, and we're not reflecting that we are all higher beings. We ignore the mother God. We ignore that there's a mother God as part of the Godhead, and even that is part of the problem. So there are so many truths that we haven't even acknowledged. So we have a lot of work to do, and
Mm.
I have done some of the book works. I can relay it in songs for everyone, because that's my job. That's my life. I don't do anything else.
Mm.
I make jewelry. And
Ah,
I sew and stuff like that. But primarily, my job is to relay a message to all of humanity, every continent, everyone that is willing to listen. That is my job, and I'm just doing my work. And it is pleasant at times, but most of the times it's not. It's not most
Mm.
of the times.
Is it difficult speaking truth?
Yes, because people are willing to defend the same thing that is keeping them down in life. They're
Mm.
willing to defend that because they're so brainwashed.
Mm. Okay. Well, what I love is the surgence of, so many females now standing up and carrying the baton, So you among so many have to be applauded, for your stance.
Yes, I give thanks. The woman has been the most suppressed. The woman and child has
Yeah.
been the most
yes.
suppressed and has not has a voice, and all the sex trafficking and stuff. So there's gonna be a uprising of women,
Mm.
soon enough. It already has started, and Mother God coming back to take her throne
Yeah.
next to the Father, because they have omitted her out of the Godhead.
Mm.
Yes.
Go ahead, Sharon. You're muted.
Yes, I just realized that. Is that terrible? I want to know what is next for Miss Desiree. Like, what's upcoming for you?
Upcoming for me is I have two CDs on the way. One is um the beginning of February, most likely, if Jah willing, this is
Yeah,
gonna be
I
released
hear
at the beginning of February.
Mm.
So I've been doing a lot of recording and promoting of the show. Meanwhile, I'm still traveling and doing different shows.
But where are you traveling? Like, where are your travels? Is it just in the Caribbean? Is it like where are we traveling?
In recent times, I have been trying to do a lot of Caribbean shows because I haven't before. So I have been doing a lot more of that, the Trinidad and the other islands. Um, Right now, I go to California. I do a lot of California shows. Going to the U.S. this summer and Europe. I've heard some shows for Europe are in the makings. I so busy doing everything else. I haven't paid any attention to that right
Mhm.
now. But yes, I'm going to Europe this summer.
That's beautiful. England should be on that spot soon, please.
Yep.
Call us, call us.
We would love that.
We just need the
Yeah.
right promoter to make that happen.
Well,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Definitely.
yes.
Yes.
How does one reach out to you or your management? How can we make that happen? Or if somebody wants to reach out to Desiree, how can they do that?
You can reach me at Dezarie Official on Instagram. And I have another business number. I wasn't prepared right now, but I can find it before the show.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, for my,
Brilliant.
my booking agent's number.
Okay. Brilliant. And then we'll pass that on to who it may concern.
To
Yes,
whom it may concern, that will make things happen. That's what. Let's put it that way. To whom it may concern, that will make things happen. For
Yeah.
us to see
yes.
Desiree and walk up and give her a big hug, like "Welcome, Sister Yuri." I want to see.
I'll be gladly welcoming that.
I'm
Oh,
gonna let me just hit her with some quick questions. How many albums do you have to your name at the moment?
Probably five right now.
Okay.
Five of them.
And then what you've done is you've released some of them as singles also, right?
I have released no. The singles that I have released are
Mm.
going to be on the upcoming albums.
Okay.
Yes.
So that there's I do believe it's fairly new. Breathe in Strength. That's out now, right?
Yes. It
And what
just
is that about?
it has seemed that there's been an attack on our breath of life and our oxygen with all of this getting the dabs and all that stuff.
Mm.
Um, it's all an attack on our breath of life.
Mm.
Wearing the face mask, it covers both your nose and your mouth, and
Mm.
is a lot of respiratory illness, and a lot of people have died from that
Mm.
these respiratory machines, and
Mm.
so it's an attack on our breath of life. And I always say that humanity helped them to issue this stuff, help them to
Mm.
bring it in, because after the death of that guy that they strangled
Mm.
on the ground in the U.S.,
Mm.
he had said he can't breathe. So there were all these people chanting for many weeks. They can, I don't want to say I, but they can't breathe. They can't. They were saying, "I can't breathe. I can't breathe." Just chanting this in his name. But it
Mm.
was like they were invoking something. That they were helping Babylon to invoke
Mm.
this thing that they use to bring about all these other stuff, um,
Mhm.
sickness that they use to bring in all of this other stuff. But it's been started with a sickness, an attack on our oxygen and on our breath of life. So that's what the song is basically about.
Okay.
It says Babylon wants you breathless.
Yeah.
Must breathe in strength and breathe out stress.
Your music is, like I say, incredible. Um, Sometimes people have to listen past the beat because the beat is mesmerizing, and
yeah.
you can listen to the beat and totally miss the message, right? And,
Yes.
and I find that with a lot of your music, sometimes I'm listening so much to the beat that I'm now listening to the song for the very first time, and I'm like, weird. I didn't hear that before. You've been through that, Sharon. It's mesmerizing, you
It
know.
is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It really is. So, in terms of your music, where, like, who builds your music? Who builds the rhythms for you? Like,
Right now, I'm working with a young guy, Prez, and I'm working with one of Vaughn Benjamin's last producers that he worked with, which is Ras L. So these are the two producers I'm working with currently on these two
Mm,
different projects. Right now, one is a older, he's elder, he know a lot of roots.
mm,
The other one is younger generation, so he gives me a new, nice little vibe that gonna pull in the young people.
mm,
okay, so you, yes, yeah, I understand the logic. So
Yeah.
I asked that question just to, because I know you'd spoken about it before, that it was difficult. So who do you work with now? And would you be willing to work with others if you, other producers, if you are feeling their music?
Yes, but not right now. Just to keep a more of a control on what I'm doing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to have more control. Less is more control, and more people in you know your basket. That's
Mm-hmm.
less control for me, and less everything for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And for you, when it comes to your music, what hits you first? Is it your thought process, you just start writing, or is it when you hear the music, you know exactly what you're going to put to that rhythm?
It's
Like which
some
you?
of each. Some of
Oh,
each. Sometimes I already have the lyrics, and then sometimes I hear the music and the lyrics come at that time.
mm. So let's round up, Miss Shaz.
Yes.
We're going to round up this conversation. I truly want to thank um, Desiree for coming onto our show and sharing with us, some deep stuff, a little bit of insights into this and that. There's so much more to you. I really love to have you on again, to have a more deeper conversation with yourself,
Yes, I would.
Um, and my last question to you would be, when you're working with producers,
Mhm.
what have they got to possess? Because somebody of your magnitude, they've got to be able to feed your vibration, your soul, with the right vibration. I would imagine working with you wouldn't be the easy of plights.
I take music very serious. I expect the best, and I
Don't
want the
don't
best.
I know it?
That's how me and Vaughn is different. Vaughn will give anybody a chance.
Mm,
I don't do that.
right,
I want to hear the best. I expect the
right.
best. I want good music. Don't bring me no tin pan, nothing. And I want to hear a good vibration on the music. Not some people are so negative. You go by and you can almost feel it in the music that they're playing.
Mm,
So
yeah.
I'm very careful with that. Yeah.
And what kind of dent has Vaughn's passing created?
What kind of dent?
Yeah, I mean he's passing. What dent in the industry has it created?
Wow, it has created a dent on all of us. Um, for me, he was there at my foundation, and it's like something's missing right now. We all miss him. Um, I didn't get to tell him goodbye, so that really hurts. But
Mm,
he left his legacy, and with things that he taught us. I have some of his books in my library that he gave to me with his um his little the messages and notes and everything. And I from time to time I go back in there.
right.
And he has also inspired a lot of us, a lot of the artists here in the Virgin Islands and in the Caribbean and elsewhere.
Mm,
Yeah.
So
mm,
Yes.
There's a dent. He's missing. We feel it in St. Croix. He was
Right.
good with the whole with the even the gangsters here, and you know he got them to a calm point because
Mm,
he would go and reason with them,
Yeah.
mm,
go and reason with these guys and tell them that they are kings and and
yeah.
how to carry themselves. And so we feel it. St. Croix feels it, and we haven't gotten over it yet. Uh,
Yeah.
there's a lot that happened, a lot of conspiracy theories about what happened, and
Mm,
it doesn't matter what happened. We just have to give
Mm.
him the respect for his works because this
mm,
man, blood, sweat, and tears to find out all that information he's spitting on all these songs. He went through a lot to
yeah.
be able to relay that. And
Yeah.
there's a spiritual fight that no one considers. They think we're just out here singing this stuff about these negative energies and informing people. Do you think the government does not want people informed?
Right.
They don't want us informed. You're more controllable. The less informed you are, the more controllable. The
Mm,
more unfair you are, the less information you have, the more controllable you are.
yeah.
So we have to rise and realize that we are not the God, but we have God inside of us. And so that we have that ability to create certain things. You can't you cannot try to create and doubt yourself at the same time. So when you get past the doubt that you can make things in your life better, when you
Mm,
get past that doubt, then it's time to create. Then it's
mm,
time to manifest. Then it's time to bring your light um, to fruition.
mm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Love
So
Any
that.
more questions? You have any other? Sorry, go ahead.
we're a powerful people. There's this cartoon. A guy was telling me he watched, and on the cartoon they was laughing because they were saying, "Ha ha ha! Look how we have gotten the gods to believe that they're slaves."
Mm,
So we have to let go of the slave narrative and
mm,
stand in our power. We are a powerful people. We have
yeah.
creating our own. We depend on Babylon for everything:
Hmm.
food, clothes, shelter. Everything. We have nothing for ourselves. We don't even know if Africa is our nation. A lot of people don't accept Africa as their nation. We don't have a nation. The Chinese have a nation.
Mm,
Indians have a nation. Spain has a nation. Where do we go as a collective to say this is home?
mm-hmm,
Us. We're gonna fight for us because we're from this place. Our ancestors are from there. We must unite and fight back
mm,
and teach our children how to think, to make
mm,
your brain work for you, not your brain controls you. Most people, their brain controls them. If I
mm-hmm,
get up today and I have a lot of dishes to wash and I don't want to wash it, I'm tired, I will tell my mind, get up and go and wash the dishes,
mm,
and it will be done.
mm-hmm,
We said we wanted to do an interview. You said you wanted to do an interview. You hunted for years. You found me after 10
mm,
years. And aren't we doing the interview? We
yeah.
made we made this happen. It was
Yeah.
your idea and
Mm,
whoever else. And now
mm,
it is it's manifested and we're
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can do things. We can do things, but we must stop fighting each other. We must stop being these little petty emotions that we deal with on a daily day to day basis to
Mm,
bring down our brethren and sistren. And you will never find that everybody is going to be agreeable, but those that we can unite with, let us do it and make things happen because we can. We are not weak. We are
yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
DNA in our blood is what people have created. The pyramids have been created.
Mm,
Based, we have stardust in our skins. You know,
mm,
we are light beings. Don't limit yourself and the Most High. We limit ourselves and the Most High and what the Most High can do and what we can do.
Mm. What do we need to do?
We need to focus and we need to regain control of our minds and control of ourselves.
Mm.
We need, there's so much brainwashing out there that we need to recenter ourselves, realize what we are, realize the greatness that we come from,
Mm.
and not limit that greatness, which we call creator, that is inside of us.
Mm.
Women, we make babies, we can create. We are creative. If I go and plant a seed outside today, maybe in 2 days,
Mm.
there will be a plant out there.
Mm.
We can create. We can weave baskets.
Mm.
Men build buildings.
Yeah.
We create. But we are building constructs for the enemy. We
Mm.
can create for ourselves. We can create our own Zion. We can create. We don't have to accept the rules of the beast. But the first thing that it requires is awareness.
Yeah.
Awareness of the lie and
Mm.
awareness of the truth,
Mm.
awareness that knowing, we don't believe, we know that things are going to improve. We know that we are good people and we know that we are going to get better and we're going to keep at it and we're going to use the information that we get and we're going to use that to prosper.
Yeah.
We're going to use that to prosper. I can tell you, if you don't start thinking that way, we will never have anything as a people. And we
Mm.
will always be buying from
Mhm.
the enemy, and every penny we make will still always go back to the same ones that are enslaving the
Mm.
people.
Thank you
Wow.
so much, my sister, for the insight. I'm going to let Sharon end the show. Sharon, end the show with your last question. Say what you want to say. Sharon's.
Oh, thank you. This is Sharon's Corner. So
Yes.
I just want to say, Desiree, for me, I could see where you're supposed to be or where you're going. That is my spiritual gift that I can see. The light is around you. The tone in your voice, your expression shows where you need to be. You are the female Warm Benjamin, whether you choose to believe it or not.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
Leave a legacy. And the beautiful thing about him, he wasn't afraid to share his teachings, but you have it. So
Yes.
therefore, when you, as the female, get on that stage and you start your chanting before a beat drop, you always deliver that message. That is exactly how you're supposed to do it.
I
So,
thank you very much. Thank you.
girl, listen, it's just such an honor to even speak with you and for you to tell us your truth, what you believe in, and hoping that when people do see this video, they know who you really are. It's not
Yes.
just seeing you on stage, know who you are, a real one. You're one of the last of the real ones or one of the beginnings of the real ones.
Yes, I. So I've heard.
Yeah, one of the beginnings of the real ones, and you will always tell the truth. So
Thank
I
you.
say that that is the most I could say about you because you are aware of your spirituality.
Thank
And
you so
that
much.
is your beauty. That's what makes you stand out. Your beauty is your spirituality. And what you teach the children, what you teach the young women, what you teach the young men, they do listen.
Yes. Thank
Wow,
you so
wow,
much.
wow, wow.
Thank
It's just,
you. And I glorify and I magnify my creator, Jah, in the presence of everyone that is looking and listening today. And I bless you and your show. And thank you so much for inviting me here and allowing me to speak my truth, because this is something I've never done before on an interview. It's usually about where are you from, when did you start singing, how old are you, and stuff like that. So thank you very much for allowing me to share some of myself with you and the audience. Thank you.
Well, we do know there's much more, but we don't want to take everything away from you. But this is a live conversation, and we hope that we represented you well. We
Yes.
pray and hope that you've had a good time with us. And of course, you're going to have to come back because you're a friend. You know that you're a friend to the show, right?
Yes, I definitely do.
If I got
Yo,
anything to do with it, man, she's family.
listen, well, that's what I'm saying. Same things. I was like,
We're
Sharon Mango, you can't forget 10 star because we will dig you out and find you. We won't have to wait
family
that
now,
long.
okay? We're family now.
He is
Yeah.
family, sister.
Yes, Ocean and sis.
That
Yes.
is the
I'll tell
truth.
you what. Get her to end the show with a wailing song. Just sing a song for us.
Okay.
The children, please love yourself, or you
Mm,
cannot love anyone else. The children,
mm.
please love yourself, or how can you love anyone else? Thank you.
Woo!
Did he say Boba?
Love and
She's feeling
respect
it.
to St. Croix, Virgin Islands, Trinidad, St. Lucia, Dominica, all the Caribbean
Mm.
islands, Atlanta, Florida, New York, California, and
Yeah.
England, of course. We love
Yes.
you.
Yes.
We're gonna
Jamaica.
get out of it. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. I don't want to forget Jamaica, because that's where the fire started. So we can never
For real.
forget Jamaica as reggae artists.
For
Yes.
real.
Right.
God bless you, sister. We're going to
Yeah.
end with this performance once again by Desiree. We're going to get out of here, but we'll be staying in contact with you. God bless you, sister.
Yes,
Yes.
we will, Desiree. We'll be in touch.
Irie. Yes, I guide and protect.
Bye.
Yes. All right. Bye.
Oh yeah, it's okay to give your last dollar to someone in need. In need. And it's okay to give a plate of food to someone hungry. Hungry. All is vanity, and that's what it be. What it be. And accustom your hands from holding on to material things for your own self. We must give